Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is James. I'm an ACCA member. I'm here to help you today to pass your examinations for March. That would help. I share my experiences. I've worked with the Learn Signal team now for a number of years, and these sessions, I wish I had someone that I could just turn up, ask any questions. They'll give you an honest answer and really help you with the process that we're only, what, 6 weeks away, maybe five weeks away from your actual exam. And this is where we have the boot camp countdown and the strategies for success in today's session that are going to help you out. Now, for the recording, and in case I know we've had a couple of people who joined slightly late, the boot camp dates for Learn Signal for the March sitting have been released. And for your notes, so you can put it down for your exam, as it refers to quite a lot of people here today. So on the 11th of February is when we have financial reporting and SBR. On the 12th of February, we have taxation and SBL. On the 13th of February, we have PM, we have APM, and we have advanced taxation. On the 14th of February, we have audit and assurance and advanced audit and assurance. And last, but by no means least, I'm sure you're looking forward to it, the most amount of fun. On the 15th of February, we have financial management and advanced financial management on there. So these are the boot camps, part of the Learn Signal process that are definitely going to help you out. And if you follow it through day by day, have a go at the questions, do them to time, that is definitely going to help you out on there. Now, I realise we've got a few people who are joining us today where you're thinking, who on earth is this guy? Why should I listen to him? How is he going to help me out? Well, my name's James, as I said at the start. You're welcome to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the rest of it on there, as I share my journey from really just starting out on a study contract, never really done much accounting apart from at university. And then I was working full-time while studying, ended up failing a few examinations. The odd, well, not the odd, lots of sleepless nights, long days, all the rest of it, studying every day of the week, countless hours. But then it's all worth it in the end because I got qualified, I failed advanced audit and assurance, I failed advanced tax, passed them second time round, and then got invited to the member ceremony down in London. So that was my study buddy, Mike, where literally, when I did my exams, I know it's 4 or 5 years ago now, but it's when I did the last one. But still, it's all I had was one person to chat to. I'd have loved to have had a webinar like this where I can just turn up, ask questions, and then having that mindset that I've got on the side there as to, receiving that certificate, what's the feeling going to be like? And it just makes all the hours worth it that I know you guys are currently going through on there. So now coming on to the key task, which we're all here to do, is getting you ACCA qualified as a member. And it's worth reminding, as we're going to be planning your sort of ACCA journey for the year, you've got to get your 36 months of work experience, the ethics and professional skills module, you should definitely not be overlooking. And then we'll be really going into a bit more detail today, those 4 professional papers, maybe you want some advice on which one to actually do yourself. And then we have the 9 applied knowledge and skills papers, which we actually have quite a lot of people who are doing here today. So any exam that you want help with that you can see on the screen now, I've taught, I've sat the papers, I help students out on it. It's a case of there are lots of variables, which I've done a few videos on this. And just to give you a short and sweet version of it, really at the sort of like strategic professional level, maybe you're in the process of considering which options to pick. I got asked this the other day. They were saying, James, what should I pick? And I went, well, it depends on your situation. The first thing you should look at is, well, what marks did I get in the equivalent applied skills paper? So that's, what did I get in FM? What did I get in PM? What did I get in taxation? And what did I get in audit? And if you got the 2 highest in audit and tax, it's probably best that you take those. The other factor that you may want to consider is where are you currently working, and then where do you want to work in the future? So if you're currently an auditor, for example, on there, it's a case of you're probably going to be best off doing advanced audit. But if you can see yourself going into sort of wealth management in the future, then maybe advanced financial management's for you. I previously worked in taxation and financial reporting in practice. So I did advanced taxation and I did advanced audit because I thought, who knows, I might actually go and be an auditor in the future. Turns out I didn't. I actually preferred wealth management a lot more and should have done AFM. But swings and roundabouts on these things. We bounce and we move on from it. It's nothing to worry about on there. We also have a few students who are doing SBL and SBR here tuning in live, and that's where, if you have time, I would try and do the ethics and professional skills module, because ACCA show on their website that students who have done that ethics and professional skills module have a higher percentage chance of passing their essential papers at the strategic level, SBR and SBL, and also the option papers. The other thing that really I get lots of questions now, which could apply to anyone here, is the optional BSc. Now, this is where you're all studying at the moment, and maybe some of you have been to university, some of you haven't, but the current Oxford Brookes BSc, which you can apply to do, is running out in 2026. Now, I know what you're thinking, 2 years away, James, I've got loads of time. Well, it's actually, I think, at the back end of 2005 when it will be the last batch that they'll take in. So if you are planning on doing it, I would do it as soon as possible on there. And last but not least, again, feel free to use that Q&A on the side. Maybe you're considering what exams to do in the future. Now, March is going to be the last sitting for the tax papers where it's with the current rules. So maybe you actually want to take tax more tactically in June or September, so that you get the new rules, you get the new allowances, and you get the new rates. And if it was to go right, fantastic, you pass. But if you were to fail it, then at least when you're doing the resit, it still has the same rates and details with this as well for that. So that's enough about that. That's all good and all jolly exciting on there. But this is where it is going to help you guys out now as Learn Signal students. And we can come on to any specific ACCA questions you have after these short slides. And we're talking about the revision boot camp and your success ahead of the March examinations. Now, what actually is a revision boot camp? Why is this going to be helpful? Why is it going to be a thing that you should actually engage with on the Learn Signal platform? Well, it's an intense 21-day revision plan before your exams to keep you on track and to cover all of the key areas from a question practice perspective. You'll have daily past paper questions with tutor solutions. I'm not just going to hang you out to dry, do the questions and you don't get the answers back. The other key thing on there is the CBE platform. You get used to it in developing exam technique skills. That it staggers me how many students actually don't practice enough on the either on the ACCA practice platform or the Learn Signal equivalent. And it's just, if it was me, I would be doing as many questions as I possibly could to time on that practice platform on there, because that is replicating what will be done in the real thing. Try to avoid Excel, try to avoid Word, but if the system's down, then obviously use it as a means that you have to. We also have detailed tutor walkthrough videos for an in-depth analysis. I do lots of these for PM, taxation, audit and assurance. Again, you can drop Learn Signal a message on there and they will send you old recordings that I've previously done on there, bad haircuts for you to entertain yourself. But nevertheless, they are still applicable. The questions and key areas are topics selected by myself as a tutor that I would definitely be wanting to cover on there. And last but not least, we have live tutor support 24/7 for doubt resolution on there. You can drop the Learn Signal team a message, whatever place in the world you are tuning in from, and the team will get back to you. I even get students who drop me a DM on Instagram as well, and I'll just voice note them back if I've got a bit of time on there. So yes, more than happy to help and support. So make sure you keep in touch on that. Utilize the resources as much as possible. There are mock exam products as well, and this is where, again, you've got expert tutors that have developed these mock exams with the Learn Signal team, like myself, on each ACCA subject. And this is where it's corrected by markers within 3 days. So this is where, when you get the opportunity to do a mock exam, please do it to time, under exam conditions. Treat it like the real thing. Don't look at your books. Don't be on your phone. No listening to music. It's designed to replicate the real thing, and that is where you're going to get the most of actual benefit from it. And last but not least, we have get actionable, personalized feedback, model answers, and guidance to improve your scores. Again, it's not just going to be down to you to work it all out. The Learn Signal team will provide you with guidance on there that could be the difference in picking up a fair few more marks in the real thing. But the key thing, the bottom line is, you have to do that mock exam 2 times and submit it, and then the Learn Signal team can help you as a result. I mentioned at the start these new progression tests as well, which are new to Learn Signal. It's something that we're actually going to be putting into place based on student feedback, where it's that sort of transition from when you'll be at the stage now where you'll be finishing your tuition. You've probably looked at all the recordings on there and been through all the chapters, and then you're getting to the point now of actually, well, okay, I'm going to be starting to look at questions. I feel confident to go on to them, but there might be a few areas I'm a bit unsure about. And this is where, for your notes, you can see up at the top, you've got the 9th and 10th of February on there for you to save the dates. And this is where, before the bootcamp, you'll have access to course materials to test your knowledge on that tuition. So again, what does that mean? Well, it helps you to actually say, these bits of the course content I actually am pretty good at, or I get a fair amount of the results on. And then it will highlight areas where maybe you need to put a bit more attention on that. It's not a mock exam, and as you can see, they're available for only 1 day. So it's between that 9th and 10th on there. Again, it's just to keep students on track and to help them out from a perspective of saying, let's see how you got on with tuition. Did you skip a few lectures? Did you pay attention, or were you playing on your phone? All these sort of things. So make the most of them. I think they'll be brilliant to actually go through, just test your knowledge and to see where you are at. And in terms of we use the term of ongoing support and constant motivation. Oh my word, constant motivation. Is that even possible? Well, as you know, we have fortnightly webinars like today where you can come along, ask me anything specific on your exam. I'll be more than happy to help. You've also got on your Learn Signal platform, if you haven't used it before, you have the live tutor and support chat. Again, when you just want the answer there and then, or for someone just to reduce any anxiety to make sure you're doing the right thing, then check that out on there, drop them a message. We also have the revision bootcamp guide. So again, starting from the 11th of February, pick out your exam, put it in your work calendar, make sure you keep on top of it. And then last but not least, we have Learn Signal Community for peer-to-peer collaboration. Again, that's where you can speak to other students from around the world. And if you can't remember how to find these resources, or you're not quite sure what they mean, again, just drop the Learn Signal team a message on the support chat, and they'll be more than happy to help you out on there. Another thing just to highlight in case, well, some students find it, some don't. There are updates really for this year to help you out. And this is the course learning plan. And it just breaks it down into certain sections like you can see on here for audit and assurance. And it just says, right, how much of the learning have you done? How much of the bootcamp have you done? The other resources, assumed knowledge, just different lessons for you to complete. And it really just breaks it down nicely. I would make a note of it for you to check it out on your platform. It shows that you're making progress. You can look at it and go, oh, I've done 3 out of 4 lessons, or I've done 5 out of 14 resources that I've looked at. All of those things on there are going to help nudge you on the way to getting that 50 plus and to help you pass your examination. And really another area for today, which again, if you've been to one of these sessions, some of these slides will be more familiar to you, but it's always, when you go away and you listen to something like a webinar today, or you listen to an audio book, or you YouTube something, and you go, right, what am I going to take from that, what I've just consumed, and how can I put it into practice to make myself better on there? And these are just sort of things that I look at all the time in my life, not just with studying, and it has helped me be so much more productive to get more things done, and to actually save more time to do the things that I want to do. So away from being a lecturer at university and running a YouTube channel, and then also running a TikTok, Instagram page, and Facebook page, and also running another business on the side as well, where again I sell products online, which is quite cool. I'm also training for a marathon, which again, a marathon, 42 kilometers, that is serious time to get that in. And when you go out on a run and all this sort of stuff, you come back a bit tired. Then you've got the nutrition, then you've got the hydration part. Like yesterday's long run was 20 miles on there, 20 miles out in the sort of wind and sun and all that kind of stuff. And it's not just the 20 miles of doing it, which took 2 hours and 45 minutes, but then it's the 1.5 hours beforehand to get yourself prepped, make sure you're hydrated, make sure that you've had enough fuel in you, so you've got enough to get you around, but then not enough to have a stitch. Then you've got after the run that you're going, right, I've got to get back to, I had to get back for a work call as well, had to do that, and then you go, right, I've got to shower, then I've got to stretch, all these sort of things. If I didn't work out my available time, that goal of running a sub 3:30 marathon would just not be possible at all. And so it's the same for you and your studies, where you've got to work out your available time to fit in the boot camp, to fit in the progression tests, and to fit in the time so that you can do the mock exams, which is going to give you the best possible chance of passing. But if you don't set that time out and say, today I'm doing the mock exam, today I'm actually going through the lessons, today I'm going to do my boot camp, it means that then you can allocate time to going, right, I want to go do parkrun tomorrow. I want to go to the gym. I want to go see my friends and have a bit of a social life and not be a hermit. All these sort of things come into your available time. And I plan it out through my work calendar on there and just blank out time that I go, right, this is to do with work. This is to do with life. This is to do with study. And before you know it, you won't be playing on your phone, because every minute that you spent on your phone, you're thinking, oh my word, I could be spending that time that I spent on the phone on so many other productive things. That could help me out. And it's getting that balance, which is then going to help you not think that your life is just wake up, do some work, go to work, then study, come home, feeling knackered, eat some food, watch a bit of TV, have a beer, and go to bed on there. Which again is not ideal, but the better the balance you have, and the better you break down your time, and the more things that you say no to that aren't productive, that is where you're going to see the most amount of benefit. And I'm only just reiterating this from a perspective that I think about it, because lots of people go, oh, manage your time better, become more productive on there. I go, okay, well, tell me some realistic things that you actually do on there. And one of them on here, when are you most productive? So my example for this is always, I'm most productive between about 9 to 1 p.m. on there. 9 a.m. that is to 1 p.m. We only have so much willpower every day. So I go, right, when am I most productive? 9 in the morning till 1 p.m. And then in the afternoon, as you all know, you sort of just tail off and you're going, okay, well, I can still do a bit of work, but it's not as productive. I don't feel as like I've got as much fizz about me. And then you go, right, in that 9 till 1, that 4-hour period, what are the highest return on investment activities that I can do? Now, in that time, most of mine is actually recording, doing lectures, doing classes, all those sort of things when I've got the most amount of energy. And then anyone who comes along goes, oh, he seems like he's got a lot of energy. Well, it's one of the points as well why I quite like doing these sessions. 12:30 to 1, I've got tons of energy on there. You get me at the perfect time. So going away from today, you've got to find out when your sort of 3 to 4 hour window is. Some people's is literally they get up at 6, they have a bit of breakfast, bit of coffee, and then 7 a.m. till 10 a.m., 7 a.m. till 11 a.m., no distractions, and they get through loads of stuff on there. Hey, that works for them. Go for it on there. But again, it's all about that focus, and working out when you are most productive is definitely going to help you out on there. But then teaming that in where we talked about the marathon training, the YouTubing, the teaching, the other things of socializing and having a life and going to the gym. But you can't underestimate the basics where hydration on there every single day. I have a pint of water within about a yard or two of me. I even put 2 or 3 pints of water around the house so that when I'm just walking around, I just quick bit of water, and I'm fueled and hydrated to make sure I get the best amount of output. Exercise doesn't have to mean going to the gym or going for a run. It can be playing football, netball, a sport or something. But even just when I started doing little walks and stuff like that, just 10-minute walks, just leave the house, bit of fresh air, come back, 1,000 to 2,000 steps extra makes such a difference on there. Little things like that, if you put that into practice, it will change your life on there. And you'll hit minimum 10,000 steps a day. My minimum steps a day now is about 15,000 for it. And last but not least, we've got nutrition and sleep as well. So nutrition is, what are you fueling your body with? It infuriates me when I wander around campus or I'm just in the street, whatever, and people are having energy drinks or they're eating all these processed foods and stuff like that. Granted, when I was studying, I had meal deals and rubbish food like that. But now I just go, can't do it. I just know how my body functions a lot better. And it just doesn't function as good if you don't have a lot of fruit, if you don't have a healthy meal, these sort of things on there. And the sleep factor, like I have 1 coffee in the morning that is caffeinated. I have no caffeine after maybe about 8 a.m., 8:30. The rest is I've got a decaf coffee here because I like the taste, but the rest is just water, like literally just water or some nice decaf tea or something like that, but mainly just water. And then when you go to bed in the evening, where you've had a full-on day, and you're there going, I am shattered. And then before you know it, sleep, you get minimum. I think my average this year is about 7 hours and 9 minutes. I think it is on there. Again, I track it through my watch. Just little things like that. It tells me when you fall asleep. Is it good quality sleep? But if you don't measure it, it doesn't get managed. Is a great phrase that I have in my mind. So the miles that you're doing, the sleep that you're having, the water you're intaking, I don't count calories. I just think about the food that I'm eating. I'm not that sad. It's all right on there. I'm not a gym buff person. I haven't got time on it really. So just little things like that. More examples I think will help you out, just so that you get a bit more of a flavour as to my world and how many things I think about. Like even after this webinar, when I heading up to Lincoln today, it'll be an hour drive. Well, I've got an hour's drive. I can listen to a podcast. I might have 10 minutes of music of a new album to listen to. I'll think about things for the rest of the day that we've got to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Try to make every hour as productive as you can from it and think ahead to how you're going to be doing it as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you now know a heck of a lot more about my life as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's just so entertaining, James's world, isn't it? I'm sure you'd love to do the same.